All right, well, hello, friends, and welcome back to the Brock Upside, a place to live, talk, and buy movies. And yeah, it's been a minute since I've done a live stream of this variety, but yeah, this is something that I've been meaning to do for quite a while now. Just been wanting to do like a semi-regular live stream of sorts, and so this is gonna kind of be a little bit of a test run of that, if you will. I don't have a major plan for this first one, just kind of testing the waters a bit here. Probably will go for about 30 minutes to an hour or so. And yeah, so just trying out a bunch of new equipment here. I'm using my usual camera to use to film my videos with. It's connected to my computer, so got the best possible quality there. And also just got this new microphone about a week ago. It's a Shure MV7. It was actually a birthday gift from my dad. So, Dad, if you're watching, thank you very much. But yeah, so I said I didn't have a plan for this one, but I actually did kind of have one. So first off, I saw this at the store today and I thought it'd be kind of cool to try out. It's picked up one of these new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles frozen pizzas. They've got a few of these. They've got like a pepperoni, a supreme, and a plain cheese. I got the Mac Attack version. I was gonna go for the pepperoni, but they didn't have that one, so I figured I might as well do a little Mac Attack. So gonna be trying that in a few minutes because it's 6 o'clock, which means it's dinner time, which means I'm hungry. But yeah, so before we get into that, this is also meant to just be kind of like a chill hangout of sorts, just kind of sit back, talk some movies, and yeah, just gonna hopefully just have a cool time. So let's check in with the chat real quick. All right, got Luke Ponto in here, my man. Long time no see. Hope all is well. All is well for the most part, but yeah, thank you for joining, Luke. Good to see some familiar faces in here. And we got an Anthony A. Perez, longtime friend of the channel. Great to see you live again. I know, right? But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I'm hoping to be doing this semi regularly. My plan right now is to do just bi monthly, like a couple times a month. So I'm doing it this week. Probably won't do it next week. But then hopefully the week of the 28th, I'll do that as well. Let's see. We also got, oops, I think I jumped ahead there. We got Zach Milne Talks Movies with the super chat. Zach, thank you very much. And yeah, I'm glad you could make it, man. You've definitely done way more live shows than I have, so it's good to see a professional in here. Let's see, the start of a new era, Brock Up Live. Let's go. Yeah, it's very exciting. I can't wait to try this out. What's been your least favorite movie this year? That's a really good question. I haven't watched a lot of bad movies this year yet. Not that there haven't been any, but I'm a little behind on my bad movie watching. Not gonna lie to you. So I think for the moment, I haven't seen this movie yet, but I think you can just pencil me in for like a negative review. It's gonna be for that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie. Uh, I have no expectations of that being a good movie whatsoever. I was like this close to seeing it in theaters a few months ago, but I ended up not being able to make that. So yeah, I'm gonna go check that movie out at some point. But for now, you can just pencil me in for that one. I would ask for favorite, but we all know it's Across the Spider Verse, and you'd be correct. Yeah, I think right now Across the Spider Verse is definitely number one, followed by John Wick 4 and probably Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny. So pretty solid top three so far. All right, then we got the Upside Dan. Glad you could make it. I thought you were having the Pizza Hut TMNT pizza, the big New Yorker. I liked it a lot. Yeah, they were doing a Pizza Hut promotion too. Uh, yeah, I'll have to check that out too. But I figured, hey, this one was frozen pizza at the grocery store. I could take it home and nuke it, and we'll see how that goes. But I think I'll definitely try that out. And if you liked it, then I bet I'll like it too. Yeah. But speaking of which, I do have a plate of said Mac Attack pizza here. It's probably gotten a little cold because I cooked it a few minutes ago, but so yeah, just gonna real quick try a piece out for the heck of it. I'll do it away from the mic though, so we don't get any creepy ASMR moments going on here. Right, going for it. Okay, so yeah, just first impression with the first bite there. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's not got no tomato sauce on it or anything like that, but yeah, just cheese and macaroni on pizza crust, and works pretty good. You know what? Actually, it kind of reminds me of the mac and cheese pizza that Cece's Pizza used to have. It was like a pizza buffet place, and I remember liking that a lot when that place was still open. But then it came out they were putting aluminum in their pizza crust to make the dough last longer, and people weren't having that. So I'm pretty sure they went out of business a few years ago. So that's tragic, but what can you do? So yeah, if I take breaks in between talking to have a more bites of this, don't mind. It is dinner time after all. But yes, so let's just check out the chat a little bit more, make sure I didn't forget anybody. All right, looks like everybody's accounted for so far. But yeah, how's everyone else's week going so far? This has been a pretty okay week for me. As far as the channel goes, things have gone really well with the Mission Impossible review, doing super well. So thank you guys for checking that out. Also did a IMAX versus Dolby comparison video for that movie, so go ahead and check that out if you haven't yet. All right, Upside Dan, are you excited for the new TMNT? Well, I'm excited enough to buy an officially licensed Walmart frozen pizza for that. But yeah, I actually am looking forward to that movie quite a bit, especially since the first trailer dropped and just seeing that really fantastic art style. It's that I don't want to call it a Spider Verse art style because it's not the same thing, but it's definitely inspired heavily by Spider Verse, and it's really creative. I love the look of it. I think it's kind of cool that the turtles are going to be voiced by actual teenagers this time around. Not something I ever really put much thought into with the other versions, but I think that'll be cool. And I also like how they're not going straight for Shredder and the Foot Clan with this one. They're diving a little bit deeper into the catalog of Ninja Turtle villains. We've got like Superfly, Bebop, and Rocksteady are back again. I think they were in the last live action movie too. And I think there are like several other villains that are going to be in there as well. I think, pretty sure Giancarlo Esposito is playing Baxter Stockman, if I'm not mistaken, which would be really cool. And yeah, so I think there's definitely a lot of potential to be really good. And yeah, Seth Rogen attached does kind of give me some hope too. Okay, here we go. It's also got Hannibal Buress as Genghis Frog, got Leatherhead, Ray Fillet. So yeah, a lot of cool characters from the TMNT lexicon in there. So that's gonna be really cool. Although if I'm willing to bet there's gonna be like a mid-credit scene or a post-credit scene that's gonna tease like Shredder and the Foot Clan, be like, oh, there's these turtles out there. Let's go destroy them or something. Long story short, yes. I wasn't, but the new trailer really liked, so I'm excited now. Yeah, I definitely would say the second trailer was a lot better. Kind of get a little bit more of the turtles and their personality, like what the story is going to be about. And we got a little bit of Jackie Chan as a Splinter. That's pretty cool. I will say though, that's not my favorite design for Splinter overall, but otherwise, I think again a lot of potential there, and I should be seeing that movie 2 weeks from now on the 29th. Get to see that a couple days early, which would be cool. Unfortunately, there's no IMAX for this movie because Chris Nolan's going to be taking up all those for a few weeks, but deservedly so. Speaking of Oppenheimer, I'll be seeing that Tuesday night, and unfortunately, I've been told that screening is not going to be an IMAX, which is a bit of a bummer. But I'm thinking it might be in 70 millimeter though, not 70 millimeter IMAX, sadly, just regular 70 millimeter. So I think there's a good chance it's going to be in 70 millimeter, which would be again really cool to check out because then I'm going to see it in digital IMAX Thursday night, and then if all goes well, Saturday I'll be going to California, take a 3 hour drive, and go see it in actual 70 millimeter IMAX, which is like the truest of true IMAX. I'm really excited for that. I got my ticket all booked. The only reason I'm not 100% sure that's going to happen just yet is because been having some car trouble the last like week and a half, and if those things don't get resolved by next Saturday, then I might have to sit that one out. But if I could at least see it in regular 70 millimeter Tuesday and then IMAX on Thursday, I can still get away with making videos for that. So that's cool. And I'm also going to see Barbie on Thursday. So yeah, I get to do the Barbenheimer double feature like all the cool kids. Upside Down, I'm seeing it early in 40X on the 31st. Very nice. I bet that would be kind of cool though, because the Ninja Turtles just jumping around buildings and kicking butt and stuff. So yeah, I can't wait to see your review for that. Let's see, I'm seeing Barbie and Oppenheimer back to back Thursday. Yep, same here. I didn't think that was going to happen for me just because of the way things were working out. Because originally when I was told there was going to be an advanced screening of Oppenheimer on Tuesday, I figured it was going to be an IMAX because that's like the big format you got to see the movie in. But uh, my guy William from the Sci-Fi Center, who's been giving me the hookup to get into these advanced screenings, he said it's probably not going to be an IMAX the screening, which I was a little bummed about that. But yeah, so now that it's hopefully going to be in 70 millimeter at least, that'll be cool. So I can still go see Barbie. The plan is go see Barbie first at like 3 p.m. and then 5 p.m. go see Oppenheimer. So it's going to lead to a very long day, but it's going to be worth it. Get to enjoy the Barbenheimer double feature. Okay, just take a quick little pizza break here. All right, it's already been 12 minutes. It's crazy. So yeah, probably we're not gonna go for super long tonight. Honestly, probably just because this was semi last minute. Probably won't go longer than probably about till 6:30. But I figured I wanted to at least test the waters here with everything. All right, so let me just sift through the chat again real quick. Make sure I didn't forget anybody. All right, yeah. Let's see. And I think what I'll probably do is try to get a couple of guests on here as well. I've got plenty of fellow creators, and I'm sure would be definitely down to hopefully just give me somebody to talk to with these. But I don't want this to become dependent on having a guest on board. But I think I'll definitely try to invite people from now on. And also, I'm not really set on doing it like on this day at this particular time. Still trying to figure all that out because, I'm trying to figure out like when's a time that fits with my schedule, but also doesn't interfere with anybody else's live show either. Because I know a few people do their shows, like Zach, he does his it's either Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't remember which one, but he's like early midweek, so don't want to try to go live when he's going live because I don't want to step on anybody's toes or people be like, oh, you got to watch one or the other. Let's see, Upside Dan, I'd be a guest sometime. Thank you, Dan. Definitely, we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I think I think it would definitely be cool if you got on here at some point though, because the big thing on both of our channels right now is like talking about movies and how they were in specific formats. For me it's IMAX, for you it's 40X. So yeah, maybe if things line up properly, we could maybe do like a live like IMAX versus 40X conversation about a certain movie that's coming out. I don't have anything in mind at the moment. Originally, I was gonna suggest we do Fest X, but then I realized I was gonna be out of town that weekend, so that wasn't going to work. But if you have any thoughts on a movie we could kind of talk about with that, let me know. Is Oppenheimer coming to 40X? Like, it's got to be, right? Like, most major movies get the 40X treatment, and I'd be curious to how Oppenheimer looks in 40X. Like, how does an atomic bomb going off translate into 40X? That's what I want to know. But man, I can't wait to see how that movie plays out in IMAX though, because it's one of those few movies that actually shot on IMAX film. You know, most movies nowadays that get the IMAX treatment, the IMAX release, those are shot on all digital cameras that are approved to be shown on IMAX screens because of the resolution and the post production workflow. So it's very rare when you see a movie that's shot on actual IMAX film, which is something that Chris Nolan has done for many years. So, it'll be quite a treat. I'm really hoping I get to go see it in 70 millimeter IMAX because that'd be amazing. No Oppenheimer or Barbie are no's for 40X. Oh, really? That sucks. Well, for Barbie, I kind of get it because I can't imagine there's a whole lot of like excitement beyond like Barbie like splashing water at the beach. So like I guess that would kind of make sense. But Oppenheimer, really? I guess they didn't wanna, like, put flamethrowers into the 40X screen and not kill a bunch of people when the bomb goes off? I don't know. Although if I had to guess, it's probably because Tom Cruise threw a fit and is keeping the 40X screens to himself for a while. What about it's not getting an IMAX release. What about the new Haunted Mansion movie? Do you know if that one's getting a 40X review or release at all? Just trying to think of like what else is like coming out this summer because we've got the new Mission Impossible, uh, which just came out. We got Oppenheimer, Barbie, Ninja Turtles. Um, let's see, is is Haunted Mansion coming to IMAX? Not to my knowledge, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure Chris Nolan's gonna be hoarding the IMAX screens for a few weeks, but it is getting a Dolby release though, so there's that. No emoji. Okay. Fans of something. Cody, how you doing? How the heck is TMNT pizza? Well, first of all, thank you for joining in, fans of something. It's good to see you guys here, and you guys also do a lot of live shows, so it's cool to see you guys on board. And yeah, I'm like most of the way through slice numero uno, and it's pretty good. You know, as far as officially licensed Walmart brand and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle frozen pizzas go, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's 40X for Haunted Mansion, right? Okay. That's honestly one I might consider seeing in 40X just because, I can't go to Disneyland right now and go on the ride. So it'd be kind of cool to be like, oh, it's kind of like the ride. It moves a little bit. By the way, Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, way better than the one at Disney World, if you're ever curious. The one at Disney World's cool, but the original at Disneyland is way better. The Meg 2 is getting 40X. Yeah, I figured that one would get a 40X. I'm not sure what it else is getting as far as like IMAX goes. I feel like maybe it would get an IMAX, but again, I don't know. When's the Meg 2 coming out again? Like it's fairly soon, right? Sometime in August, early August, I think. Let me August 4th. Hmm. Yeah, I don't foresee that getting an IMAX release, but 40X would be cool though, because of the shark and the water and everything. Or at least they've shown the trailer in 40X. Lol. I imagine that one would get a 40X. I mean, I'm not a 40X expert, but still be cool. Oh, Gran Turismo's coming to 40X. Oh, that's a good one because that one I know for sure is getting an IMAX release. They've shown it in IMAX screenings. They have like experience in IMAX, so that That might be one that we could do, actually. Yeah. Ooh, that'd be perfect because with the cars. Okay. Dan, put that in your tentative schedule. We're going to discuss that at a later date. Let's see. Had no idea that Disneyland one is better. Lol. Yeah, it's one of those situations where that ride originated at Disneyland. Same with Pirates of the Caribbean, actually. So then when they built Disney World in the 70s, they naturally brought those two rides over as well. And the one at the Pirates one at Disney World, again, is also not quite as good. It kind of skips out a couple areas, like at Disneyland. You got to go through this like bayou area, then you go down a couple steep drops, go through the caves, and go through the pirate village and everything. You get that at Disney World, but they kind of shorten the first part by quite a lot. It's not the full Pirates experience. Similar to Haunted, excuse me, similar to Haunted Mansion, where it's similar. You still got like the room that expands at the very beginning, and you got that projections of the ghosts. But that technology is not quite as cool. It's one of those you can't beat the original sort of things, I guess. Never been to Disneyland? Well, you definitely should go if you ever get the opportunity. I know you've been to Disney World before because I know like you and a bunch of the Cinema Squad met up like a year or so ago and did that, right? Or did you guys just go to Universal? I forget. But definitely, if you have the chance, go to Disney World. Do it at least once. Fans of something, dude. We're gonna be over in the Los Angeles area in October for Halloween Horror Nights. We should plan a meetup. Vegas isn't too far away, right? That's Los Angeles. So, if we plan it far out ahead enough, no, I think that could definitely be manageable because that's like a 3.5 hour drive for me, which is not the end of the world. It's fairly simple. So, yeah, I think that's something we could definitely pull off. Uh, yeah, have you guys been to Halloween Horror Nights before? I assume you guys have. I've always wanted to go though. Not sure if I would do it if we did this meetup, but I've always wanted to check it out because it's supposed to be really cool. But yeah, if we could potentially do like a meetup in October, that'd be cool. Got to do some meetups with few creators last year, which was cool. Like Anthony, who was in the chat earlier, and got to meet Sean Chandler in person. Hung out with him for a couple days, so that was really cool. All right, Upside Dan. Yeah, I've been to Disney World a lot. We went to Disney Springs / Downtown Disney. Universal, we went to. Okay, that's what I thought because I know. Because remember, like seeing like the images on Instagram and stuff. You guys at Universal for sure, and like a little bit of Disney Springs. Couldn't remember if you guys went into Disney World itself or not. But Disney Springs is super cool, though. I love it. You could spend the whole day there if you wanted to. In fact, when I went like a year and a half ago, pretty much every day we were done at the parks. We went there and just hung out, like went shopping, got food. There's so much you can do there. I freaking loved it. I definitely want to go back someday. Okay, good stuff. But yeah, let me take a look. Is the Meg 2 getting an IMAX release? Okay, from what I'm looking at here, it's saying that the Meg 2 is most likely not getting an IMAX release, just because, again, Oppenheimer is going to be occupying those screens for a while, and then Gran Turismo will take him over after that. Yeah, see, that's the one issue I've noticed with like these bigger releases in the larger formats like IMAX and Dolby is that especially in the summertime, you only get such a limited window to go see those movies in those formats of like a week, maybe two if you're lucky. So, it's one of those things where it's like you need to go see it like opening weekend if you want to see it in IMAX or Dolby, or you're gonna be SOL basically. Uh, for some people that's not a problem, but for maybe casual people who don't go to opening night screenings like most of us do, that could definitely be annoying. But then, if you release a movie in like fall or spring when there's less competition, then then they can have those screens for longer. But just kind of a shame too, because some movies would be cooler if you had an extended amount of time with the IMAX screens and stuff. Let's see, Upside Down. Wish we went to Disney World itself. I love it, and it felt weird being in Orlando and not going to Disney. Yeah, I definitely understand that. Yeah, when I went in January, that was my first time going to Orlando, just Florida, period. And I couldn't imagine not going to at least Disney Springs. I went to Florida again. But also with Disney World, there's so much to see. You can only do so much in a short period of time. It's Movies and Train Studios. What up, Cody? What's up, man? Glad you can make it. All right, got a pretty decent turnout today. I'm a little surprised. Uh, Again, this was kind of last minute. Only was really promoting this over the last couple of days or so, but yeah, I'm glad we actually got a few people, so that's pretty cool. If you excuse me, just gonna take a quick Ninja Turtle break here. I remember to mute the mic that time. Okay, so yeah, a lot of cool movies coming out in the next few weeks or so. So even though a lot of summer is pretty much over, there's still a lot of cool releases to look forward to. You know, like we touched on at the beginning of the stream, we got Oppenheimer and Barbie next week. Soon to be the greatest double feature ever. I'll be seeing Oppenheimer early on Tuesday, which will be cool. And then going to see Barbie Thursday night and seeing Oppenheimer a second time, so I get to participate in the Barbenheimer double feature. All right, we got Sergio with the super chat. Thank you so much. And who the hell told you about this channel? Huh? Just kidding. I know. I told you about that. How excited are you for the hit movie 2023's special Barbie? Honestly, I'm looking forward to it quite a bit. I mean, once I first found out that Greta Gerwig was directing a Barbie movie, I was like, okay, Greta Gerwig, Barbie, Margot Robbie starring, Ryan Gosling as Ken. Just take all my money. And yeah, with the trailers showing like Barbie living in this fantasy dreamland and stuff, and coming into the real world, I'm like, okay. And then the supporting cast, which has got just a stellar cast all around with people like Michael Cera, Dua Lipa, Simu Liu from Shang-Chi. It's like, this movie is going to be something special, and it's probably going to make a frick load of money. So I can't wait. I'm going to go purchase several pieces of pink clothing uh, to celebrate. All right, Movies and Train Studios, thoughts on that pizza? Okay, this is a bigger topic of conversation than I was expecting, but yeah, for those just joining in, I got one of the Ninja Turtles frozen pizzas. This is the mac and cheese flavored one, and I'm still working on this first piece here, but it's actually pretty good. If you ever had like a mac and cheese pizza from like one of those like kiddie pizza buffet places, it's kind of like that, maybe a little better. Uh, I mentioned earlier was kind of like the mac and cheese pizza from Cece's Pizza. If you guys have ever been to one of those, but of course those guys closed down a couple of years ago, I think, which is probably for the best because they were putting aluminum in their crust. So that's fun. In hindsight, it was probably not my smartest idea to not eat dinner and then do this pizza taste test because I just want to sit here and just eat this whole thing for the next like 30 minutes. But that would not make for intriguing content. This is not an ASMR channel after all. I've thought about trying ASMR in the past, but I don't think that's anything I want to get into right now. Maybe someday, though. All right, so yeah, let me just take another look at what movies are coming out. uh, in August. So yeah, we also got Blue Beetle coming out, which is cool. That one's actually gonna get an IMAX release, which I'm very excited about. And I'm hoping Blue Beetle does well because, with literally every DC movie flopping this year, it doesn't inspire a lot of hope for this one to do well financially because Shazam 2 made like zero money and Flash shockingly underperformed. Like, I'm actually really surprised that one's not doing well. And also, they're barely doing anything to market Blue Beetle, which is also concerning. So, which is a shame because I feel like under normal circumstances, it could have at least made like Shazam 1 money, where it's like, not huge, but respectable. So, I don't know. Hopefully, that's one where good word of mouth and it being a legitimately good movie will save it. Any cute maid boys you're going to see Barbie with? That question's a little weird out of context, but I don't know. Maybe if you guys are down to check out Barbie like on Friday or something, let me know. We might have to coordinate something. And you guys are already wearing the pink too, so that's even better. Upside in strays. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not really all that hyped for that movie. I mean, I look at the trailer and I'm like, okay, this looks entertaining, but I feel like it's going to be too dependent on the whole shtick of, oh, they're dogs, but they say fuck. Excuse my language, but it's a stream, can't censor that. Uh, so yeah, I mean, it could be funny. Like, I might just be just like Mr. Prissy Pants about it, and it might end up being super funny. So I'll give it a shot, but it's not like high up on my anticipated list, so to speak. To see a Gran Turismo that's coming out. That one should be pretty cool, actually. Definitely a more interesting take on like a video game movie because it's not really about the game itself, or at least it is, but in a very literal sense. 'Cause it's like a based on a real life event where they took Gran Turismo players, put them into these race cars, and had them compete in tracks and stuff. Really excited to check that out, though. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm nervous about. Uh, so yeah, I mean the voice cast is really cool, and some of the visual gags are doing, like when the dogs eat the mushrooms, they hallucinate. That could be pretty funny, but we'll see. It's one of those. We're in a strange time where there aren't a lot of comedies going to theaters right now. So this might be one of those things that won't do well at the box office. Maybe like when it goes to Netflix or whatever, then it'll probably like get a lot of attention stuff there. Kind of like I don't know if you guys saw The Machine from like late May, early June. It was the Burt Kreischer movie based on his really famous stand-up comedy routine where he joins the Russian mafia. That's a movie that it was cool to go see in the theater and all, and you'll get to see with the crowd, but it's not one of those where you had to go see it in a theater. Like watching it at home on Netflix in your living room with friends would probably have the same effect. So I feel like Strays might be a similar idea. Upside Down, yeah, I'm glad they went a true story route with Gran Turismo. Yeah, I think that also sets it apart from a lot of the other video game movies we've gotten where it's trying to adapt the game, but this one's adapting a real life story about the game. And yeah, and it's also got like Orlando Bloom and David Harbour in there. So that'll be cool. We don't see a lot of Orlando Bloom anymore, so it'll be cool to see him in a movie again finally. All right, so kind of just going down the list of upcoming August releases. So we've got Meg 2. It's a shame that one's not getting an IMAX release because that'd probably be cool to see in the format. I haven't seen the first Meg movie yet. Do you think I really need to watch it to understand the second one, or do I just need to know Jason Statham fight big shark thing go boom? I'm assuming that's what the Meg one's about. Let's see what else we got. Then there's also the Haunted Mansion remake. I'm looking forward to that one actually. It's one that again is being undermarketed, so it's probably not going to do very well, but I have a soft spot for the Disney theme park ride movies. The Caribbean. I remember the original Haunted Mansion movie from 2003 with Eddie Murphy. And also, this one's got a great cast: Owen Wilson, Danny DeVito. Let's see who else. Lakeith Stanfield's in there. Tiffany Haddish. So it looks like it's going to be a really good time and super faithful to the ride and everything. In fact, Cinemark is coming out with a popcorn bucket of the Madame Leota crystal ball. I think that looks super cool. I don't go to Cinemark usually, but I think I will just to get that bucket. I think it'd be really cool. And then when I do a review, I can just have it here and just be pondering the orb the whole time. Let's see, Upside Down. Didn't even recognize Bloom in the trailer at first. Yeah, he looks a little different, but you can still tell it's Orlando Bloom after you take a really good look at him. The first Meg was but I'm still what? Except okay, you're still excited. Cool. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't see the Meg when it came out. That was 2018. It was summertime. Yeah, now I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't see that, but I will most likely check out Meg too because, it's August, summer's going to start to wind down a bit, and it's a nice sweet spot to have just a dumb popcorn summer monster mash type movie. I want that bucket, lol. Yeah, and I think it's in Cinemark theaters now. That's what I've heard at least, so I'm probably going to start looking for that pretty soon. Hopefully, I can just walk into the Cinemark and be like, "I'm not here to see a movie, but can I just get the bucket, please?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, just take it and leave." But yeah, funny enough, a couple weeks ago, actually, it's more like a month ago at this point, the week that Indiana Jones was coming out, I went to a Cinemark to go catch a showing of The Flash. And they had their Indiana Jones popcorn bucket and their collectible cup with the little fedora on top. And I bought both of those. I was actually wearing my Indiana Jones shirt when I went to, even though I wasn't seeing Indiana Jones for a few more days. So I was all Indiana Jonesed up for an encore of The Flash. It was kind of funny. I don't have the Indiana Jones buckets in here though, otherwise I'd show them off. Maybe that's something I can do next stream, is going to show off all the collectible popcorn buckets I have, because especially since I started making more regular reviews like the IMAX and stuff, I've been purchasing a lot of collectible buckets. Like back there, I've got the Batman one from AMC, which is just his cowl, the Ant-Man one, the Light of Black Panther one, Indiana Jones, and so many other ones. It's starting to become a habit, and I'm kind of okay with it because they make for cool set decorations and stuff. So yeah, I think maybe I'll show those off in a future stream because never going to use them all again. They're just kind of glorified display pieces at this point. Okay, what time is it? 6:38. Okay, wow. Okay, so yeah, so things are going pretty good. So I think we'll still go till 7 at the very least. Having a good conversation here. Upside Down, we had no Indiana Jones collectibles here. Really? Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Huh. Do you have Cinemark near you, Dan? Is it not? Yeah. Because I remember you mentioning something about a theater of yours closing down a while ago. I don't remember the details of that, but yeah, how many theaters do you have around you? Do you have at least one of each of the major ones? Oh, yeah, it's weird. But also just the lack of Indiana Jones merch is kind of a bummer for me personally because I'm a huge indie fan, and a lot of that merch from 2008 was very nostalgic. But also in 2008, they had Indiana Jones products up the wazoo, on anything they could throw Indiana Jones's face on. They did. It was super cool. Didn't do so much of that this time around, which is a shame. But yeah, I think also those kind of sold out pretty quick too. But yeah, it's super cool. Maybe I will have to show them off though. So we got blah blah. Do you have the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 popcorn bucket? Unfortunately, no, I do not. And I know there were a couple different ones. There was like the Groot one where it had like Groot as a handle, and then like he was using his arms to form a bucket. Uh, that one kind of creeped me out, not gonna lie. Then there was also another one from AMC, which was like Rocket Raccoon with like a metal container type thing. I didn't get either of those, unfortunately. I think part of the reason I didn't get either one of those, aside from the Groot one, kind of creeping me out a little bit, was because I was really hoping they were gonna do like a Star Lord helmet or like Groot's hollowed skull as one of them. You know, to kind of go with the Ant Man, the Batman one I've got back there. But sadly, no. They've also done some like vehicle ones this year. Like they did an Optimus Prime one for Transformers. They had like Dom Toretto's car from Fast X. Those are kind of cool. They also did like the Ecto one for Ghostbusters in 2021. Uh, thinking, and also I just remember they had like the Miles and Gwen one, like mask ones for Spider Verse. Didn't get those ones either. Shit, must be cool. I can put them back there next to Batman and Ant Man. Damn it. No, I do not have the Guardians ones. Yeah, show them off. Okay, well, they're kind of scattered about right now, but yeah, maybe next time in like 2 weeks I'll show them off here. Because I've got the couple you can see back there with Batman. You got Ant Man over there. Got the Indiana Jones one I just got, and I've got a couple random ones too that are in my pantry as well. Let's see, Upside Down, Regal, and AMC. We have AMC may have had indie merch. I don't know about AMC though, because they definitely did not have an Indiana Jones bucket, which was really disappointing for me because I was really hoping they'd have one because AMC is the one I go to all the time. It's got an IMAX, it's got a Dolby, it's definitely got the best IMAX screen. Plus, A list is the best thing ever. I was hoping they'd have like I don't know, maybe a Dial of Destiny like tin that's like shaped like the dial itself, or like Indy's hat. I know there was like one theater company did that. Regal, I don't know if they did anything for Indiana Jones, but they have some cool stuff too sometimes. Let's see, blah blah. The only Cinemark popcorn buckets I got were the Jurassic World Dominion and Avatar 2 ones. Oh, cool. What does the Jurassic World one look like? I don't remember checking out that one. And the Avatar 2 one, is that one from Cinemark as well, or are you talking about a different one? Because I know AMC had an Avatar 2 themed one. It was blue, transparent, had like waves on the edges. I thought about getting it, but it kind of just looked like a generic bowl you'd get from like the grocery store or something. But yeah, super cool. Upside down, a news said a couple Regals were closing, but that wasn't true. Don't you just hate the fake news trying to scare us? I have the Optimus Prime one. Oh, cool. There were like two Optimus Prime ones. Like AMC had the one where it's Optimus Prime in truck form with a trailer, and then Cinemark got one that was Optimus Prime's head. And I was like, "What the hell, people? It should have been the other way around." Because I thought AMC had the monopoly on the popcorn heads, and if my AMC had one, I would have bought it because again, it would have gone perfect with Batman and Ant Man. They're just very cool set decoration. Blah blah. What theater do you go to? Uh, Regularly, I go to AMC. There's one not far from me. It's got IMAX and it's got Dolby, and it's fantastic. I love that theater. The IMAX is. Yeah, I've got several IMAX theaters in my area because I live in Vegas. But I think the one at Town Square is hands down the best one, largest, best projector, and it's the only one with a Dolby too. Plus, I have AMC Stubs A List, which I've had that since 2018. One of the best investments I've ever made. It saved so much money. I've seen way more movies, and I love it to death. Upside Down, don't kill me, but I didn't love the new Indy, but I wanted the cup with a little fedora on it. I'm not going to kill you over your Indiana Jones opinion, Dan. I have grown past that. for the most part. uh, but yeah, the cup with little fedora on it, that's actually super cool. It's something like when you see a picture of it online, it looks like kind of cheesy, but when you see it in person, I'm like, this is amazing. So, getting to, use that while like watching the Flash, just drinking out of my Indiana Jones hat. Like, ooh, Coke Zero. It's really fun. I'll definitely show it off when I do that, either on a stream or separate video. It's fun to make collection videos once in a while. All right, just real quick, take quick mini pizza break. Hold up. It's getting a little cold, but that's why microwaves were invented. So then I've got the truck Form 1. Okay, cool. Yeah, those vehicle ones are kind of cool, but I don't know, I feel like it'd be kind of awkward to like eat popcorn out of them. Did you eat out of yours, or did you like get in a separate like paper bin? Because I know when I bought my Batman one, I just got that in a separate bucket and it was cool, but yeah, I don't know about that. Let's see, blah blah. Are you watching Oppenheimer in IMAX 70 millimeter? That is the plan right now. So on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, I'm going to be seeing it a couple days early. It's not going to be IMAX, but it might be 70 millimeter, but not IMAX 70 millimeter. There is a difference. Then Thursday, I'm going to see it in digital IMAX. And then the plan is next Saturday, I'm going to take a 3 hour drive to California to go to a 70 millimeter IMAX showing, like a true 70 millimeter IMAX, and hopefully do a video on that, which I'm super excited about. The only thing is, if my car troubles aren't resolved by then, I might have to call that off, but I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that happens because I really want to check out 70 millimeter IMAX. I think that would be absolutely amazing. So I'm hoping to. I wonder if there'll be a pop. I wonder if there'll be a Barbie popcorn bucket. You know what, Dan? You've got me curious. I think there might be actually. Let me look. Let's see the article. Here's how to get the coveted. Oh, you know what? There is. Okay. Yeah, I think it's AMC that's gonna do another one of those vehicle buckets, but it's going to be Barbie's pink Corvette. Yeah, that's supposed to be one of those. So yes, there's going to be one. Oh, that's actually kind of tempting now. I might have to get that one. That'd be cool. It's a shame though they're not doing an Oppenheimer popcorn bucket to go with it, because I feel like a popcorn bucket in the shape of an atom bomb would be super cool. But I'm not in charge of marketing for those guys, so upside down, yeah, I got in a separate bucket, especially the truck one would have been kind of awkward to have on your lap. Yeah, definitely. It's already kind of awkward to kind of like hold on to that one or put it under your seat and like have like regular popcorn. Like I've done that a few times. Um, Although it's not nearly as awkward as like when they give you the collectible posters that are like super huge, like this full size Spider Verse poster I got from AMC a few months ago. Those ones are a pain because like you either have to put them in your lap or you got to put them in the seat next to you if it's empty, or you just got to be really careful. I kind of wish they would give those posters out after the showings. You don't have to like hold on to them, worry about like squishing them or getting them stained or losing them. But I don't know. It's a first world problem. So blah blah. Do you like Lagoa? By Lagoa, do you mean Lego? I'm gonna assume you mean Lego. And yes, I like Lego a lot. I've always loved Lego. It's something I grew up with as a kid, getting with like the regular blocks and getting like the Batman ones, Indiana Jones, a little bit of Star Wars, a little bit of like other ones like SpongeBob and Harry Potter. Actually, funny you should mention that because on my desk for the last like 2 months or so, I've had all of the three newest Lego Indiana Jones sets. They've just been sitting like literally right here. I'm gonna try to show them off real quick, but they're a bit cumbersome, so bear with me here. Oh shit! Oh gosh. So yeah, here's oh goodness, hang on. So here's one of them. This is the new Well of Souls set. This one's super cool. I actually did have the original back from 2008. That's one of my favorites of the Lego Indiana Jones line. Sorry, I bumped the mic there. Oh shoot. Yeah, this thing is got a lot of hinges to it, so I'm trying to be somewhat careful. So yeah, so there's that thing. I'm gonna put it down before I break it. Because if I break it, I'm going to cry. So yeah, I do like Lego a lot. Just trying to show off an example there. Here, I'll show one more quick thing from these sets. This is from another. This is from the One Last Crusade set. It's got Indy and his dad in there. Really cool. It's also got the plane as well, and I've also got the super cool Temple of the Golden Idol set here. But I do not dare try to pick that up right now because if that thing breaks, I'm going to lose it, and that's not going to be fun for anybody. Really wish they'd do some Dial of Destiny themed Lego sets, but probably not going to happen. Upside down, yeah, an atom bomb popcorn bucket would be cool. I know, right? At Regal, we usually get the posters after. Wait, really? Give the posters? What the hell is AMC's problem? I mean, I kind of get it. It's probably easier, like, because they give us the posters. When you go up to the ticket guy that scans them, it says like theater 2 on your right. I mean, I get it why they would give them out there, but I think it'd be so much easier if you just got them after the movie, so you don't have to, you know, sit on it or whatever. Let's see, but we don't really get full size posters, but still, when I do get the posters for the movie, it's awkward. Yeah, most of the posters, I get from my theaters, they're not full size like Spider Verse usually is. That's like a rare one. They're usually like the more reasonable sized ones. In fact, I've got like a huge pile of them like back in that corner that I keep meaning to frame and put up in the background for production value and stuff. But yeah, I just wish at least they came with like rubber bands or something to keep them together. That would be a huge help. Let's see, blah blah. I got a big flash poster when I saw it in IMAX. I had no idea what to do with it because it was super crowded, so I just had it in my lap the whole time. Yeah, it is really awkward. And you got a full size poster for that? Oh, that's cool. Or a big one at least. Yeah, yeah, I got to see the Flash like 3 weeks early, so they weren't giving out posters for that for whatever reason. They usually do for advanced screenings, but yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, it's just super awkward because it's like, especially for it's like a big movie you're seeing opening night where you're probably not gonna have like an empty seat next to you. You can just like set it down there. It's like you have to either sit in your lap, and if you got like popcorn, a drink, you gotta like maneuver around that too. You gotta put it on the floor where it gets sticky. Again, it's a first world problem. There are much bigger issues out there, but yeah, it's weird. It's annoying. Let's see, upside down. I keep accidentally sending messages before I'm done. Well, you're good. I just assumed you were doing it for dramatic effect anyway. I'm glad they don't give full size posters. I don't have enough space. Yeah, same here. Uh, Although I will admit though, the Spider Verse poster being full size is actually super convenient because I've actually got the perfect spot for that. But yeah, I got a bunch of these like small, medium-sized ones that most of us get. Like I've got two Avatar ones over there. Actually, got a pretty big size one from the Guardians of the Galaxy IMAX marathon that happened in May. I want to get that one put up at some point, but yeah, it's super cool. I want to actually like frame them and put them on the wall so they're actually being put to good use. That would be great. All right, so went on a whole little tangent there about movie theater popcorn buckets. This has been a very successful stream, if I do say so myself. Let's see, Upside Down. Really hope Jurassic Park re-released in theaters for its 30th, maybe 40x. Dude, same. I mean, I have been like obsessively checking online for like months now, being like, is Jurassic Park gonna get re-released in IMAX and all that? And there's been like nothing. I know like at Universal Studios they were having like 30th anniversary screenings, but they have announced nothing as far as doing like a wide re-release, which is number one confusing and number two irritating. Because number one, they've re-released Jurassic Park before, like for the 20th anniversary, and I think the 25th anniversary. 20th anniversary, I know for sure because I went and saw it in theaters when that came out in 2013. I was in 3D, which was super cool. And yeah, and also because last summer, Universal re-released E.T. in IMAX for its 40th, and they went and re-released Jaws like a month, excuse me, later. And so I figured they would do the exact same for Jurassic Park because it's Jurassic Park, another classic Steven Spielberg movie, another milestone year for it. And they've also made like sequels out the wazoo that have made a bunch of money. So it's like, what? But why not? Uh, Also, I'd love to see that movie in IMAX though, because that'd be super cool, and it would kind of be like a full circle thing because the ET and the Jaws IMAX reviews are what got me started with the IMAX reviews on this channel, and that has since blown up into a thing that a lot of people, a lot of you guys out there have really enjoyed watching, and I really appreciate that. So definitely going to keep doing more IMAX reviews and stuff. But yeah, I really wish Jurassic Park would get a re-release in IMAX. That'd be fantastic. 40x2 though, but let's all be happy here. You saw it in theaters back to back with Dominion. Oh yeah, I think they did something like that. That's cool. Yeah. I only saw Dominion one time. It was like 2 or 3 days ahead of time with an advanced screening, so never paid to go see it, so probably just missed that entirely. Blah blah. I loved ET in IMAX. Same here. I really love checking that movie out in IMAX. Excuse me, hang on, my throat's a little. Yeah, seeing ET in IMAX was super cool. I've seen the movie a million times before, but that was like seeing it for the first time all over again. And yeah, it was just a really cool time. And went home and made a video about it, and that blew up, for lack of a better term. And it's given me a new type of video to make, which is even better. I've loved talking with people about seeing movies in IMAX, so I'm glad we can kind of all connect over that. Once is enough. I'm assuming you're talking about Dominion there, and yeah, I keep meaning to revisit that movie. I bought the 4K because I have issues. I'll rewatch it at some point just because Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, they'll make it worth it again. Locusts. Well, I saw Dominion twice, but yeah, don't love it. I like it for all the shallow reasons, like the story is not there. It does nothing brand new, but it was just so cool to see Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum back together again, come back as these characters for one more movie. That made me happy, and it was cool to see them in some dinosaur action. So again, all the shallow member berry nostalgia bait stuff, but yeah, it could have been a better movie overall. Let's see. I have like several copies of the Jurassic franchise. They keep coming out with sets. Yeah, Universal is really bad about that. It's like every time a new installment in one of their ongoing franchises comes out, oh, new box set. Buy it, stupid. Uh, they do that for like Fast and Furious every freaking time, even though they know damn well they're gonna keep making them. I have like a 1 through 8 box set of Fast and Furious, and I've got Hobbs and Shaw and F9 by themselves. Uh, Only like one of those is in 4K, so maybe when the series is like finally over, or at least the mainline ones, maybe I'll upgrade to 4K or something. But yeah, box sets are a dangerous game sometimes. Let's see, blah blah. I watched Dominion once with my friends in 3D, and I was so bored. Yeah, I don't know how you make the third movie in your Jurassic relaunch trilogy and sixth movie overall about locusts. I don't know what happened there, but it still made a lot of money, and Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill and all that, so it had some redeeming qualities, I suppose. Claymation or whatever. What made you like IMAX so much? Uh, that's a really good question, actually. I think what made me like IMAX so much was just seeing it used properly. Like, there are a lot of movies nowadays I've noticed since I've started doing these IMAX reviews and paying really close attention to them is like there are some movies that were filmed with the intent of being seen in IMAX, like as they were shot on special cameras, they open up the aspect ratio, and it's like, yes, this format is fantastic when it's used properly. And, people like Chris Nolan, he does that for all of his movies and things like that. So getting to see this special format just properly utilized is what made me really like it. But there's also other movies that don't necessarily use the IMAX to their full advantage. Like don't open up to the full IMAX screen and don't use IMAX film or whatever. But they're still cool to check out on the large format, like Spider Verse. That was fantastic to see in IMAX just because the massive screen and the 4K laser projector made the colors just pop incredibly. The sound system is fantastic. And yeah, I mean, there's just uh, also just kind of became like a special thing too for like bigger movies, like a lot of Marvel, DC, uh, a lot of franchise stuff where it's like, oh, it would definitely be cool to go check this out in IMAX. And it's one of those things too, like once you go IMAX, it's kind of hard to do a standard screening for some of these. But also, probably another big thing that's made me really like IMAX so much is classic movies getting re-released in the format. Like we talked earlier about E.T. and Jaws getting re-released in IMAX, which those movies were shot on film. They weren't designed for IMAX, but then they were remastered for the format. Oh, dude, it was absolutely fantastic and immersive, and it made me fall in love with the format a lot. Let's see, blah blah. I've seen a lot of movies in IMAX, but there was something about Creed 3 that was different that made it my favorite IMAX experience. Yeah, Creed 3 was absolutely fantastic in IMAX, and I think that just has to do with how they shot the movie because again, it was one of those movies that was filmed with the intent of it being seen on an IMAX screen. I don't remember exactly what cameras they used to shoot it on, like for the fights and stuff, but it was a camera that was used with IMAX in mind, if that makes any sense. Like in that final battle between Adonis and Damien, that opens up to the full 190 IMAX aspect ratio. So you just get the full screen experience there. And also just a lot of the stylistic choices that Michael B. Jordan made, like with the jail cell bars and like very anime style editing techniques in there. All of that coupled together, and it's like, yes, that was one hell of a movie to see in IMAX. Like, takes advantage of the format perfectly. If they make a Creed 4, they're gonna have to top that somehow. I don't know how they'll do it, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so it looks like it's after 7 o'clock already here. So I think we'll probably go for maybe another 5 to 10 minutes or so, and then we'll wrap things up here. But yeah, just want to thank everybody for joining me so far. Definitely had a better turnout than I was anticipating, like I've mentioned a couple of times. So again, thank you guys for coming in and hanging out with me for an hour. But yeah, so we'll just kind of go for like another 5 10 minutes or so, and so you got any other questions or thoughts about movies or popcorn buckets or Danny DeVito? Go ahead and ask them now. Okay, let's go back to the list of upcoming August releases. Kind of touched a little bit on a lot of these, like Blue Beetle. Hopefully it does well, but who knows? Gran Turismo, that should be pretty cool. Ninja Turtles, I've eaten their pizza, so I think I'm legally required to see the movie now. Meg 2, probably be a lot of fun. Uh, Oh, speaking of Meg 2, Claymation or whatever, do you know if Meg 2 will get an IMAX release? I know that's a random question, but I've been wondering because I'm really excited for it. Yeah, we actually were discussing that a little bit earlier, and it doesn't sound like there is going to be an IMAX release, unfortunately. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Oppenheimer is going to basically have monopoly on IMAX screens for a while, and then Gran Turismo is going to take them over after that. So unfortunately, I don't think Meg 2 is going to get an IMAX release, but there might be like a very limited IMAX run or something. But I hope it'd be cool if it does, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. Although you know what I think would be kind of cool though for the Meg 2 is if it maybe had like a showing at like a water park or a lake or something. So you can like kind of like be on the water while you're watching it. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see. Blah blah. What are you more excited for, Barbie or Oppenheimer? I'd say I'm more excited for Oppenheimer at the moment, just because I'm a huge Chris Nolan fan, and I can't wait for like a proper IMAX experience again, and just the source material of him talking about J. Robert Oppenheimer, the Manhattan Project, developing the atomic bomb and everything, and you know the absolutely stellar cast with like Killian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, among so many others. So I really can't wait for that one. But I'm also really, really, really excited for Barbie as well because again, really interesting visuals. Greta Gerwig directing, stellar cast there as well. And they're two very different movies too, which I think is really cool that we're gonna get those on the same day and have like a really interesting double feature. But yeah, so Oppenheimer is my number one, but Barbie is a very, very close second. But I will be seeing both. Claymation or whatever. What's your IMAX theater? The IMAX theater I go to is an AMC IMAX. Um, it's in Las Vegas. It's Town Square. We have quite a few IMAX theaters in Vegas, but that one I think is hands down the best one. It got it upgraded its projector to a IMAX with laser, which is like 4K, sharper picture, richer colors, which is fantastic. It's made so many movies look so much better. Let's see. Oh, and will Barbie be an IMAX? Unfortunately, Barbie is not going to be an IMAX because, again, Oppenheimer is going to be occupying all the IMAX screens for a couple weeks until Gran Turismo comes out. Uh, I think they were trying to do an IMAX release for Barbie, at least they were talking about it, but I think it was conflicting too much with Mission Impossible and then Oppenheimer and other ones. I think they're doing like an early fan screening on Tuesday or Wednesday in Dolby, which is not the same thing, obviously, but yeah, as far as I can tell, there isn't a whole lot as far as like premium formats for Barbie, which is a shame. Will still be a cool experience regardless, but sadly, no Barbie IMAX, unfortunately, which would be super cool because I just think the video title "I watched Barbie in IMAX" would be interesting, but don't think that's going to happen, sadly. Blah blah. Are you going to watch Gran Turismo? Yep, I definitely intend to watch Gran Turismo. It looks really interesting. I haven't played Gran Turismo, but I don't think I have to necessarily to understand what's going on. And that one's going to be in IMAX as well, so I can't wait to check that out. And yeah, I think Upside Dan and I might do something kind of comparing the IMAX to the 40X because he's like the 40X guy. So that'll be a really cool experience. Honestly, I almost kind of want to see it in 40X because the seats moving and everything. Because I saw Fast and Furious 9 in 40X like 2 summers ago, and thought that was really cool. So, but yeah, definitely going to watch Gran Turismo. And Gran Turismo, how soon is that coming out actually? August 11th. Okay, so that's little under a month from now. Okay, cool. So yeah, looking forward to that. And of course, this coming week we got Barbie and Oppenheimer, soon to be the greatest double feature of all the times. I sadly didn't get a Barbenheimer t-shirt like everybody else did, but I do have an Oppenheimer shirt though that I just got. So I'll be repping at least one movie this week. Blah blah. The only 40X movie I saw was a re-release of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Oh, interesting. Rudolph the Red. That's kind of cool. Wonder what that would be like in 40X. Huh. How long ago was that? Because maybe that's like, I wonder if that's like an annual thing they do or what. That's kind of cool though. All right, claymation or whatever. What was your best and first IMAX? My first was Avatar 2 in IMAX 3D, and my best was Dial of Destiny. Ooh, really good question. Best and first. I'm gonna try to answer the first one first. Um, let's see. As far as my first one is concerned, um, yeah, okay, I think I know what my first one was. And you're probably going to laugh at me when I say this, but I'm pretty sure my first IMAX experience was The Secret Life of Pets from 2016. Uh, I mean, it was my 18th birthday. We were at Universal City Walk, wanted to go see a movie, and Universal City Walk has like one of the best true IMAX screens around, and they were showing it in IMAX. And that was my first IMAX experience, was The Secret Life of Pets. Uh, kind of silly, but hey, got me hooked. Uh, as far as best goes, that is kind of a tricky one. I think maybe Avatar 2 in IMAX 3D because I saw that in Dolby 3D. Then I saw it in IMAX 3D opening night, but that was not the usual IMAX I go to. It was like a smaller one, kind of like a fake IMAX. Then I saw it a third time in proper IMAX 3D with a laser projector. I think that one's probably the best IMAX experience I've had so far, just because of the 3D and the amazing VFX and just the immersiveness of it all. But who knows? That might change with Oppenheimer in a few days. Saw Rudolph in 2020. Oh, okay. So that might have been one of those things when they were just showing a ton of classic movies because of COVID and everything. But still, super cool. My first IMAX movie was Venom 2. Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't remember if I saw Venom 2 in IMAX. I might have. Could have been Dolby. I'm not sure. But that was probably cool in IMAX, though. I saw No Way Home in IMAX for sure, though. That one was amazing because, 3 Spider-Man and all that. All right, so we're closing in on 7:15 now. So we'll just go for like 2, 3 more minutes just because got a few more people coming in. So, yeah, so we got a couple more questions. Just fire them off now. Otherwise, we'll just kind of wrap things up here. But yeah, lots of cool talk about IMAX, talked about some popcorn buckets, talked about Disneyland versus Disney World, and the awkwardness of free movie posters. Dan, 3 Spider-Man spoilers. I'm sorry, Dan, okay? It's not like I have the three Spider-Men down there in Funko Pop form, or it's, I'm sorry, okay. Actually, while we're on the subject of No Way Home, why hasn't Sony released the extended cut on physical yet? Like what the hell? They did like a very small theatrical re-release for the extended cut, and they put it on digital, but like no Blu-ray release. The hell? I'd buy that in a heartbeat. If Once Upon a Deadpool got a physical release, that sure as hell should get a physical release too. Once Upon a Deadpool. Anybody see that a few years ago when that came out? PG-13 version of Deadpool 2. They got Fred Savage in there. They recreated Princess Bride a little bit. Thank God Deadpool 3 is going to be rated R, because holy crap. All right. Claymation or whatever was Rise the Beast in IMAX 190 or not. I watched it in Dolby. I'm trying to think. I don't believe so. Let me check. I saw it in IMAX as well, but I don't remember there being any like IMAX sequences per se. Yeah, according to IMDb, it was only in 239, so there was no 190 at all, unfortunately. I didn't do a review of that, unfortunately, just because I had a lot of stuff going on personally at the time, but yeah, unfortunately, there wasn't. I don't know if any of the Michael Bay transform. Actually, no, I take that back. They did. I know like some of the Michael Bay Transformers had some IMAX sequences in there, so didn't see any of those in IMAX, sadly, but that would have been cool. I didn't see it, but I just wanted to see it. Lol. uh, you talking about Deadpool or Spider-Man: No Way Home? Because I have a lot of questions if it's No Way Home. Once Upon a Deadpool got a Blu-ray release. Yes, it definitely did. And actually, it was like early 2019. I have a review of it on this channel. If you want to go digging for it, if you want to hear my thoughts on it, go find that video. I liked Rise of the Beasts a lot. I liked it a decent amount as well. I think as far as Transformers movies go, it's one of the more coherent ones. The action isn't just a bunch of explosions and metal flying around. Uh, I'll be curious to see how that ending tease of you know what plays out. That'd be cool if they pull it off, though. I'm really excited for the animated Transformers movie next year, though. That should be really cool. Blah blah. I was going to watch Transformers in IMAX, but ended up in Dolby. That might have been the better way to go for that movie, honestly, because it didn't really do a whole lot as far as IMAX is concerned. Deadpool. Okay. I was gonna say, Dan, have you been lying to me this whole time about Spider-Man? Because okay, you saw it several times. Because if somehow you hadn't seen it this whole time, that'd be a concern. I would have to come to your house and force you to watch it then. Tape your eyelids open and everything. Okay, before I sound like a serial killer too much more. Right, so yeah, we'll just go for like one more minute, just end things off at about 7:20 or so. But yeah, so again, thank you to everybody who came out for this first test stream of sorts. Again, I'm hoping to do this at least a couple of times a month. Maybe we'll do more beyond that. But yeah, just hoping to make this kind of like a chill hangout of sorts. We just sit back, talk some movies, and yeah, it's really cool. Had a really cool conversation. And I think we'll be ending it off with one more question with blah blah. What was your most watched movie in theaters? My most watched movie in theaters is definitely The Force Awakens. I saw that a total of 5 times, and it was one of those things where I saw it, opening day. A couple days later, saw it again, and then went with family to see it a third time. Then went with my mom a fourth time, and then a fifth time. I was at a mall, had time to kill, so I was like, screw it, one more time. So 5. Uh, there have been lots of movies I've seen like 3 times in a row, like Avatar 2, Across the Spider Verse, The Batman, Batman v Superman, um, among a few other ones. I don't have a list going right now, but Endgame, I saw that one 3 times. No Way Home 3 times. Uh, but yeah, I want to go see Dial of Destiny for a 3rd time as well because I feel like I have to because it's Indiana Jones. All right, and Upside Down, No Way Home, Endgame, Civil War, and It Chapter 1. I saw a lot in theaters. Very nice. Some very cool movies to check out there. Yeah, No Way Home. Technically saw that 4 times with the IMAX, or not the IMAX, the extended cut. Endgame couldn't. That was an addictive theater experience. Civil War only saw that twice, and It Chapter 1 only saw that once, but really good time. All right, and yeah, I think we're gonna cut things off right there. So yeah, again, once more, thank you guys for coming out. And okay, one more quick one. I'm sorry. Blah blah. Saw No Way Home 5 times. First time was 11 a.m. on Thursday, so I couldn't get spoiled. Smart, very very smart. Yeah, there were a couple things that were slightly ruined for me with that movie, but thankfully most of the rest of it was not. But yeah, that was one hell of an experience in the theater, though. All right, so yeah, most likely there'll be another stream on the 28th. Keep it to Friday for now. Might move it around, just depending on how schedules and everything line up. But yeah, but for now, thank you guys for coming out and having a nice little conversation with me. Uh, if you're in the mood for some turtle themed pizza, maybe go check this out. It's pretty good. I'm gonna go finish the rest of it now. Dan says good night. Good night, Dan. And yeah, hopefully we'll be all checking out Barbie and Oppenheimer in a few days. And otherwise, eh, see ya, blah blah. Glad you could make it. And yeah, otherwise we'll see you on the Brock Up side.